Welcome back, everyone! Today, we're exploring the best open-world RPG games. Get ready to immerse yourself in vast, richly detailed worlds, embark on epic quests, and shape your own adventure. If you're a fan of RPGs that offer freedom and depth, you're in for a treat. Let's dive into the best open-world RPGs that will keep you hooked for hours on end. Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning is a remastered version of the original action RPG developed by Keiko and published by THQ Nordic. The game takes place in the fictional world of Amalur, where players assume the role of the Fateless One, a character who has died and been resurrected, but is devoid of a predetermined fate. In Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning, players embark on an epic journey across Amalur, exploring diverse regions, battling a variety of creatures, and interacting with a range of characters. The game features a deep and engaging story, with a richly detailed world filled with lore and history. One of the highlights of Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning is its dynamic combat system, which offers a blend of fast-paced action and strategic depth. Players can customize their character's abilities and playstyle, allowing for a high degree of player choice and replayability. Overall, Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning offers a modernized version of the original game, with improved graphics and gameplay mechanics. It provides both newcomers and fans of the original game with an opportunity to experience the world of Amalur in a fresh and exciting way. Baldur's Gate 3 is a role-playing video game developed and published by Larian Studios. It is the third main game in the Baldur's Gate series and is based on the 5th edition of the Dungeons & Dragons tabletop role-playing game rule set. In Baldur's Gate 3, players create a character and embark on an epic journey through the Forgotten Realms, a popular Dungeons & Dragons campaign setting. The game features a deep and immersive story, with players making choices that affect the outcome of the game and the world around them. One of the key features of Baldur's Gate 3 is its turn-based combat system, which allows players to strategically plan their actions in battle. The game also features a variety of classes, races, and abilities for players to choose from, allowing for a high degree of character customization. Overall, Baldur's Gate 3 has been praised for its engaging story, complex characters, and strategic combat. It offers players a rich and immersive RPG experience that stays true to the roots of the Baldur's Gate series while introducing new elements and features. 10 games into the series, Assassin's Creed continue to find ways to surprise players. In one way or another, the entry stories revolve around the Animus. The Animus is a device that allows a person to interact with their genetic history. Through this device, players can relive their ancestors' lives. Now, every modern Assassin's Creed game seems to be polarizing, and Odyssey might just be the most divisive recent entry. Building on Origin's RPG ideas, its successor was the first entry to be truly a member of the action RPG genre, with stealth taking a back seat. This change did not hit the mark with everyone, but there is no denying that Odyssey's world is stunning. The story is pretty good too, and nowhere near as bloated as Valhalla. Middle-earth: Shadow of War is an action role-playing game developed by Monolith Productions and published by Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. It is the sequel to Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor and is set in J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth, specifically in the time between The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. In Middle-earth: Shadow of War, players control Talion, a ranger who shares his body with the spirit of the elf lord Celebrimbor. Together, they forge a new ring of power to challenge the Dark Lord Sauron. The game features an open-world environment that includes regions such as Mordor and Gondor, as well as a revamped Nemesis system that allows for more dynamic interactions with enemies and allies. One of the key features of Middle-earth: Shadow of War is its focus on large-scale battles, known as sieges, where players must capture and defend fortresses against Sauron's forces. The game also introduces a new gear system, expanded skill trees, and more customization options for both Talion and his army of orcs. Middle-earth: Shadow of War has been praised for its improved gameplay mechanics, expanded world, and engaging story. It offers players a deeper dive into Tolkien's universe, with plenty of content to explore and conquer. Avalanche's Hogwarts Legacy rode the hype train all the way to a wildly successful launch. Harry Potter games are nothing new, but great ones are rare. In many ways, the 2023 release is the first title to properly take advantage of the franchise's gaming potential. Regardless of someone's feelings for Harry's story, Harry Potter's universe is generally regarded as fantastic, and Hogwarts Legacy enables fans to immerse themselves in a world filled with magic, mystery, and charm. Even if its story is nothing to write home about and everything outside Hogwarts leaves something to be desired, the game nails its aesthetic and recreation of the eponymous academy, and players can spend dozens of hours living out their wizarding world fantasies. Because journeying around a massive world on your own is just no fun at all, Dragon Age Inquisition gives you a bunch of companions to run around with and a ton of side quests to use them in. You wouldn't want to waste their talents, after all. Not only that, but the companions are some of the best party members around. I'm looking at you, Dorian Pavis. At first, it's easy to get overwhelmed with the number of side quests that saturate its lush fantasy world, but as long as you remember to take advantage of the fact that, like many of the best open-world games out there, there are multiple areas to explore from the very beginning. Don't just stick to one. You'll slowly be able to gauge which ones are worth doing ASAP. The story will also keep you gripped throughout, so while it might claim many hours of your life, it's worth the time investment. ELEX 2-inch is an action role-playing game developed by Piranha Bytes and published by THQ Nordic. It is the sequel to ELEX and is set in a post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe. In ELEX 2, players once again explore the planet of Magellan, which has been devastated by a comet impact. The game features a non-linear story where players can join different factions, each with its own goals and ideologies. Players can also use a jetpack to explore the open world and engage in melee and ranged combat with a variety of weapons. One of the key features of ELEX 2 is its dynamic world, where player choices can impact the game's story and the world around them. The game also features a revamped dialogue system, improved graphics, and new factions to interact with. ELEX 2 has been praised for its deep and engaging gameplay, challenging combat, and immersive world. It offers players a unique blend of science fiction and fantasy elements, with plenty of quests and exploration to keep them engaged. Geralt isn't perfect. His surroundings aren't perfect either. War ravages most of the countryside, with bloodthirsty creatures who don't even stick to the shadows anymore preying on innocent civilians, while others try to keep their identity secret in the human-dominated landscape. Yet that's what makes The Witcher 3 the best open-world game to play right now. Because everything is broken in its own special way, there's always something plastered on peeling notice boards for Geralt to do, for gold, of course. Stick to the dirt country roads and help villagers with the monsters baying at the door while they look at you and your yellow eyes with suspicion, negotiate with a well-meaning poltergeist in the middle of a city, or just uncover all those mysterious question marks dotted over the map. The Witcher 3's imperfect world makes for a perfect game, meaning it set an incredibly high bar for the future of open-world games. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is an action role-playing game developed and published by Capcom. It is an expanded version of the original Dragon's Dogma game, featuring additional content and improvements. In Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, players embark on an epic adventure in the open world of Granzes, a land filled with dangerous creatures and dark secrets. Players create their own character and choose from different classes, each with its own unique abilities and playstyle. One of the standout features of Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is its innovative pawn system. Players create and customize their main pawn, a loyal companion who accompanies them on their journey. Players can also recruit 2 additional pawns either from other players online or from the game's pool of pre-made pawns. The game features a dynamic combat system, with players able to climb onto larger enemies to attack weak points or topple them to the ground. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen also offers a challenging difficulty level and a variety of quests and side activities to keep players engaged. Overall, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen has been praised for its deep and rewarding gameplay, immersive world, and memorable characters. It offers a unique and engaging RPG experience that has garnered a dedicated fanbase since its release. Monster Hunter Rise is an action role-playing game developed and published by Capcom. It is the 6th mainline installment in the Monster Hunter series and was released for the Nintendo Switch. In Monster Hunter Rise, players take on the role of a hunter in the ninja-inspired Camera Village, which is under threat from a new monster called the Rampage. Players must undertake quests to hunt down and defeat various monsters, gathering resources and crafting gear along the way. One of the key features of Monster Hunter Rise is the introduction of the Wire Bug, a new tool that allows players to perform various acrobatic maneuvers and attacks. The game also features a new companion called the Palamute, a canine mount that players can ride into battle. Monster Hunter Rise offers both single-player and multiplayer modes, allowing players to team up with friends to take on challenging hunts. The game features a wide variety of monsters to hunt, each with its own unique abilities and behaviors. Overall, Monster Hunter Rise has been praised for its engaging gameplay, stunning visuals, and deep mechanics. It offers a thrilling hunting experience that is sure to delight fans of the series and newcomers alike. Skyrim's world doesn't revolve around you. Somewhere in the wild there's a necromancer trying to animate a skeleton. At the same time during the day you'll find a pack of bandits taking on a giant, RIP, or wander into a nearby village only to have a dragon attack it when you're stumbling out of the inn. Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim is made for stories, and it's so eager for you to sample its delights that even if you were to avoid every major settlement you'd still run into 30% of its quests out in the wild. The map is just filled with stuff to do, bizarre things to see, creatures to impale with sharp implements, NPCs to pickpocket, creepy Dwemer ruins to explore, oh, and dragons to fight. Even after playing it for a casual 100 hours, those are rookie numbers, there are still quests that you won't have found, and hidden bosses waiting to be slayed. It's hard to overestimate the impact Skyrim has had on the lives of gamers everywhere, but to get a good idea of its effect and just what Elder Scrolls VI has to live up to, you're best off jumping in and starting your new life in its world.
Purchase your tracks today.
Perhaps one of Elden Ring's greatest assets as an open world is the air of mystery that shrouds almost everything in it. Good open world games thrive on their power to make you wonder what's over there, and all too often repeating mechanics like towers to climb and enemy bases to clear mean you already know. That's assuming it hasn't been marked on the map for the last few hours you've been playing. From Software's location gives little away and adds a genuine thrill to its exploration. Every door or new location is as much a thrill as a threat, and the lack of obvious references or origins to its world often mean that even when you can see something, you're still not sure what to expect. The open world structure has also softened from its usual style of game design. I won't say it's more accessible because there are still hard-to-beat bosses and high-level areas that will hand what's left of your ass back to you in seconds. The freedom to explore, however, removes the grind of more linear games like the Dark Souls series, letting you wander off and explore, leveling up at a more leisurely pace and adjusting to the challenges ahead. Fallout: New Vegas is an action role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Bethesda Softworks. It was released in 2010 as a standalone installment in the Fallout series, set in a post-apocalyptic open world. The game is set in and around the Mojave Wasteland, a region that encompasses parts of Nevada, California, and Arizona. Players assume the role of the courier, who is ambushed and left for dead while carrying a mysterious package. The story follows the courier as they seek revenge and uncover the secrets of the Mojave Wasteland. Fallout: New Vegas features a vast open world filled with various factions, settlements, and wildlife. Players can explore the wasteland, complete quests, and engage in combat with hostile creatures and factions. The game also features a reputation system, where the player's actions and choices can affect how they are perceived by different groups in the game world. One of the key features of Fallout: New Vegas is its branching storyline, which offers multiple endings based on the player's decisions throughout the game. The game also introduces new gameplay mechanics, such as the companion wheel for managing NPC companions and an expanded crafting system. Fallout: New Vegas was well received by critics and players alike, praised for its engaging story, memorable characters, and immersive world. It is considered one of the standout titles in the Fallout series and a classic in the RPG genre. Square Enix has dabbled in open-world design a few times, but most of these attempts left something to be desired. Final Fantasy XV serves as a prime example, with the game featuring a beautiful but empty open world that does not particularly complement the main story. Final Fantasy VII Remake is fairly linear in design, despite incorporating open areas that encourage exploration. In comparison, Rebirth feels like a full attempt to incorporate an open world, and it is comfortably the developer's best effort at this type of project. Set after Avalanche leaves Midgar, the characters and players are quickly exposed to an expansive horizon that goes well beyond what they have ever experienced, and the sequel does a fantastic job of emphasizing the sheer freedom in front of them. Many people grew up with the original Final Fantasy VII, and as influential and masterful as that JRPG is, its post-Midgar sections are relatively small-scale. Rebirth brings these areas to life in all of their modern glory, allowing fans to immerse themselves in locations they knew but had yet to fully experience. XENOBLADE Chronicles 3-inch is the third installment in the XENOBLADE Chronicles series of role-playing games developed by Monolith Soft and published by Nintendo. The game continues the series' tradition of combining open-world exploration, strategic real-time combat, and a deep, engaging story. Set in a world where two titans, Biones and Macones, once waged war, XENOBLADE Chronicles 3 explores the consequences of their actions and the fate of their inhabitants. Players embark on a journey with a new cast of characters, each with their own motivations and backstories, as they uncover the mysteries of the world and confront new threats. One of the defining features of the XENOBLADE Chronicles series is its innovative combat system, which blends real-time action with strategic elements. Players control a party of characters, each with their own unique abilities, and must strategically position themselves and use their skills to defeat enemies. XENOBLADE Chronicles 3 also features a vast and beautiful open world for players to explore, filled with diverse landscapes, hidden treasures, and dangerous creatures. The game story is driven by player choice, with decisions made throughout the game affecting the outcome of the narrative. Overall, XENOBLADE Chronicles 3 is a highly anticipated continuation of the beloved RPG series, promising an epic adventure filled with memorable characters, stunning visuals, and engaging gameplay. See that mountain? You can climb it! You can also attach octopus balloons to a raft to float into the air, or turn a fallen tree into a deadly projectile. Mixing up The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild's ingenious mechanics is what makes its open world so deliriously freeing, as it encourages that special breed of mad scientist experimentation, so it's no surprise that it's one of the best Nintendo Switch games available right now, as well as one of the best open world games. Instead of quests propelling you around most of the map, you'll find curiosity getting the better of you most of the time, as Breath of the Wild's landmarks are downright intriguing and offer the chance to find out more about the world before Calamity Ganon struck. Or you can hunt down the 600 adorable Korok seeds, or perfect your cooking repertoire, or take on a Lynel, or you get the idea. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom just pips its predecessor to being the better open world game. It's bigger, for one thing, but also has a lot more fun with letting you be creative within its vaster Hyrule. This is a glorious open world that's partly a playground for your own imaginative inventions and part rich canvas of quests, secrets, and lore to discover. It's a complete evolution of Breath of the Wild in that way, taking everything that people love and made of that first game to the next level. Piranha Bytes achieved open-world perfection with the original two Gothic games, so much so that the developer spent the next 2 decades trying to recapture the same magic, to mixed results. The first entry is impressive and arguably features the best story in the trilogy, but in terms of open-world design, Gothic 2 is up there with the genre's best projects. Set on an island, the campaign finds the nameless hero going on a quest to defeat the dragons, a journey that will take them all across Khorinis. The central storyline is nothing all that special, but Gothic 2 shines in its minute details. NPCs feel like they are leading lives within this world, and they have their own things going on that have nothing to do with the protagonist. Featuring an impressive range of customization and progression options, Gothic 2 encourages players to craft their ideal adventurer, granting them endless choices in how they fight, live, and explore. Although fairly small by modern standards, Khorinis is a joy to traverse, provided someone does not mind the occasional difficulty spike. Kenshi is an ambitious game that drops people into a massive open world and challenges them to make their own way. After creating a group of starting characters, players are not given much direction, so they must venture out into the unknown as they gradually develop their party skills through activity. They can build houses, farm goods, and establish settlements, just to name a few things. Although not entirely without written quests, Kenshi largely relies on its established mechanics to organically inspire stories built upon a user's personal ventures. The result is a punishing and overwhelming experience that is also immersive and frequently deeply satisfying. What if you took Breath of the Wild and added JRPG elements and a little sprinkling of anime? Well, welcome to Genshin Impact. The world of Teyvat is full of mysteries, not only about who you are and why you're there, and with constant updates and more characters being added at regular intervals, there are so many reasons to dive in. Many fans were heartbroken to hear that masterclass game developer Hideo Kojima wouldn't be working on the critically acclaimed Metal Gear Solid series any longer, but were quickly placated to learn the iconic creator was opening his own studio. His first foray into the world of video games as an untethered designer was Death Stranding. Although it's a bit avant-garde for some, the world that Kojima created is nothing short of spectacular, especially from an immersion standpoint. Players get to control Sam, a futuristic delivery man portrayed by the talented Norman Reedus of Walking Dead fame. Although the game itself is superbly strange, it's also incredibly enthralling, although some may find it hard to enjoy its quirky gameplay. It's definitely worth a look, if just to appreciate its open world. The Outer Worlds is an action role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by Private Division. It was released in 2019 for multiple platforms, including PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Set in an alternate future where megacorporations have colonized space, The Outer Worlds follows the player character, who awakens from cryosleep on a colonist ship that went missing. The game takes place in a retrofuturistic universe, drawing inspiration from classic science fiction works such as Firefly and Fallout. Players navigate various planets, completing quests and making decisions that impact the game's story and world. The game features a darkly humorous tone, with satire aimed at corporate culture and capitalism. Players can also recruit companions, each with their own personalities and quests. One of the key features of The Outer Worlds is its narrative-driven gameplay, with player choices significantly affecting the outcome of the story. The game also includes a unique flaw system, where players can develop character flaws based on their experiences, gaining both benefits and drawbacks. The Outer Worlds has been praised for its engaging story, memorable characters, and player choice. It offers a deep and immersive RPG experience that explores themes of corporate greed, morality, and freedom. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me, and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. Thank you very much for following me this far, and until next time, bye.